Hello and welcome back to my channel, and yes, this is Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It seems it was only yesterday they announced a terrible decision of launching Ghost Recon Frontline, and you can actually go on Steam and take a look that it's been delayed with no upcoming updates and it's gonna be free to play. So obviously the dislike versus like ratio on that video made someone high up to make a decision of not launching that game, which is quite correct. And then they hit us with the even better thing, which is, and I can't make this stuff up, it's Ghost Recon Motherland. Let's take a look what it is and how it looks like. So Ubisoft channel on YouTube released literally 26th of October, 2 days back, the Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint Operation Motherland launch trailer. And I think we should just all watch this. It's 4 minutes. Then we'll go through this a little bit. Let's go.
Hey Ghosts! Operation Motherland is the brand new update for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Set a few months after the event of Operation Greenstone, Operation Motherland is led by an old friend of the Ghosts, Karen Bowman. After you and your squad completed your original mission on Aroa, the island quickly became a strategic place for powerful countries looking to get their hands on its technology. In response, the CIA has tasked Karen Bowman to defuse this global upcoming crisis by giving the control of the island to a neutral force, the Outcasts, led by Harui Ito. To do so, you will have to help the Outcasts get rid of the remaining enemy forces in a brand new mode, the Conquest mode. The Conquest mode is a new alternative mode to Ghost Recon Breakpoint story mode. You will have to conquer various territories of Aroa by carrying out various destabilization missions. Note that each of the missions you complete will have an impact on the world dynamics, such as deactivating drone surveillance, removing enemy presence, or increasing Outcast patrols. Choose the mission you want in any order and reshape the world of Aroa. Territories are ruled by lieutenants. Destabilize and conquer all the regions of a territory will give you clues to identify its lieutenant, neutralize them, and liberate the area. Freeing all the territories will allow players to reach the final region and complete the liberation of Aroa. And as you might have guessed, Sentinel aren't going to be the only enemies you'll have to fight on your quest to free Aroa. Operation Motherland will see the return of an iconic enemy of the Ghosts, the Bodarks. Allied to the Sentinel and Wolves, they brought their own helicopters and trucks, adding new convoys and patrols throughout Aroa. Players will have to fight 5 enemy archetypes with new gameplay mechanics, bringing an extra layer of tactical options. The Tactician is a caller. He'll try to stay alive and call up numerous reinforcements to overwhelm the Ghosts. The Oppressor and Dreadnought both carry extra armor, while the Oppressor is a rusher that will come at you with his SMG. The Dreadnought will stay further away from you with his rocket launcher. Finally, the Trooper and Seeker are both riflemen. While the Trooper is a standard soldier, the Seeker comes with an extra piece of tech in his kit. Indeed, Operation Motherland also marks the return of an iconic feature, the optical camo. You will be able to unlock the optical camo in the Conquest mode, as well as its own progression system that will offer you ways to make it even more efficient. Upgrading the optical camo will allow you to improve its battery duration or even increase the efficiency of the camo. While the optical camo can be unlocked and upgraded in the Conquest mode, you will also be able to equip it in the story mode once unlocked. That's not all, Ghosts. Operation Motherland also comes with a bunch of other gameplay additions and improvements. Maximum XP level has been raised to 99 instead of 30, providing a new long-term objective to everyone with unlockable weapons and gear. A new weapon mastery system will now allow you to use your extra skill points in order to improve certain characteristics of selected weapon categories. Talking about weapons, the Bodarks have brought with them 5 new Russian weapons and variants that you'll be able to get your hands on, as well as 6 new weapons and variants that will be available in Maria's shop. Maria's shop will also be restocked with various new customization options and vehicle skins. Furthermore, by progressing in the liberation of Aroa in the Conquest mode, you will be able to unlock new weapons, equipment, and vehicle skins. Once unlocked, they will also be available in the story mode. Finally, as a celebration for the 20th anniversary of Ghost Recon, this update will also include 3 iconic skins of famous characters from previous games. That's all for me, Ghosts. Hope you're as excited as I am for this new content. See you soon on Aroa.
So, I must say, it's not entirely terrible idea to pour in new things in almost fully forgotten game since it was launched in 2019. We've seen gameplays of all kinds of different approaches. You have stealth, all guns blazing, no guns, pistol only, knife only, different classes. We've seen it all. We've been there, we played it. Me, myself, and Mr. Death, we actually did the regular mode, the immersive mode, the no HUD mode. And they just come out with this idea. Now, here's the thing, which kind of bugs me a bit when it comes to it. I'm not gonna say this is completely useless. I would say this is about 50% useless. Because when we watch the reveal that they are so happily introducing the conquest mode, right? So they say. And we will have the different regions. So first of all, this literally kind of reminds me about Far Cry, because the Far Cry 6 now does have a insurgency mode where you basically do the same exact thing. You have different regions, you go and liberate them by doing objectives, and then you get to the main guy. The difference is somehow the enemies has never been defeated on the first try, which we technically did. We shut down our ghost comrade, whoever his name was. It'll come back to me. No, I don't remember. Anyway, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So we liberated the island. We shut down the drone program. So technically, this place should be swarming with U.S. operatives at this point, and U.S. government should be taking, every possible piece of the cake when it comes to J-scale technology. Second of all, how can they call insurgents a neutral force? I mean, not the insurgents, the outcasts. Outcasts are literally the people who lived on that island. That is not a neutral point. That is the most biased point in a history of biased points. They literally wanted to get rid of everyone so they can have the island for themselves. But okay, I get it. So let's just watch through this, and I'm just gonna try to keep up with this all amount of things. So when they say you will reduce the amount of enemies, and this is what kind of bugs me. So you reduce it, right? Also, when you see all these regions they are unlocking, remember Wildlands? When you had like each region, different missions, then you had the lieutenants, you take down the lieutenants, and then you go for El Sueño. It's exactly here. It's the same recipe is applied to Breakpoint. An enemy presence reduced. I can tell you why it's reduced. This is what's always been in all Ghost Recon and Far Cry games. It doesn't matter how many enemies you kill, there's somehow always more. Mysteriously, they're just spawning out without the command, without their superiors who are all dead because you killed them. They are still going around doing the same things all over again, without any actual cause why they're still doing it, since they know that, well, basically there's no one on the island apart from them. So this is a bit of a grind. Why I know why this is a grind? Because you have raised level cap. Why do you need level cap for? For using the weapons, so you can upgrade them for your over-the-top skill points that you have nowhere else to put. I mean, when you play tier mode on Wildlands, you can actually kind of put in some points there as well. At least you can upgrade your weapon. It makes sense because the game gets harder. I highly doubt that this will get much harder, because at this point you are replaying the game for at least the third time. Also, they say, oh, the conquest mode is something different because you have the optical camo, right? So you have the optical camo, which we know is absolutely useless in Wildlands. It doesn't give you anything, and it's, I would say, is pretty much proven. A very good, I would say, voice in Ghost Recon community, which is still on YouTube. The name is Dark Dally. He actually did endless videos in regards to optical camo, solo, in co-op, and stuff like that, and it doesn't matter, right? Looks like in this game, or in Breakpoint, it will matter. At the same time, when you look how they are trying to revive this genre by putting all this stuff in, it's a bit sad. So, for the story continuity itself, when it comes to Karen Bowman, depending on which ending in Wildlands you actually finish the game with, which probably is A, Karen Bowman took El Senor in and he cut a deal and everything is fine, or she shot him. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this, because in my playthrough I actually let her rot in a prison, so I do believe CIA would have a bit more operatives available to take over command for this little island. Also the Bodarks. Obviously the Russians are the bad guys, they're coming in hot, they're bringing in their own vehicles and stuff. This kind of... I'm kind of curious, where exactly on a world map is this island, and why is it so important for them to get their hands on it? Because when it comes to technology, there's this magical thing called blueprints that I do believe every single Breakpoint player knows, that you can actually have the weapon blueprint, and then if you're playing with the levels, you will just recraft the weapon so it's up to your level and you can mod it and stuff like this. You don't need a whole damn island to see how they make stuff. You need blueprints and then you make stuff yourself. It's very simple. Russians probably would never ever try to wage war in 2 or 3 fronts at the same time over a little tiny island if all they have to do is just send in a guy, he gets the blueprints and he gets out. Now, when it comes for overall state of the game, and this is the fun fact, right? The microstutters are still there. As you can see, I do have Breakpoint running in the background. And I played a little bit, and obviously it's 2K, and I must say, it still stutters. Like, I'm not even joking. The frame drips, or frame dips, or frame drips. Same stuff. Potatoes. It's literally still happening. I mean, literally, how can you expand the game if you don't cater to the core needs of the player base? Performance upgrades, please. And I know I'm not alone on this. I don't know. I see why they're doing this. I understand they spent a lot of money. They spent awful lot of money on marketing the Breakpoint in general. But when they are showing this instead of Wildlands 2, after the fiasco with Frontline, I mean, I would say it kind of feels desperate, if you know what I mean. It feels like they're catching on straws. They're trying to get some credibility. They're trying to get the players back, because after you play the Deep State, after you play the Red Patriot, there's very little left to do in this game, like quite literally. Because for the most part, all this is already done. Like, everything's explored. I mean, of course you can go to the Golem Island now and kill everyone all over again. And I remember the day when it was opened for raids, and I do believe it was the same day someone actually found a way how you can get on it on a locked part without actually doing the raid. Past the drone swarms, and you had to like get, I do believe there was this Buvayak over here. I think, I might be completely wrong. No, I think that's the one. It's this one here. So if you were going with a chopper, I believe, very low or something, if you managed to get up and not get killed, or get killed but spot this Buvayak here, you could actually spawn in the Buvayak and then explore the whole island before it was even officially open. This was only the raid area before. Now they're basically recreating Wildlands with extra steps. And what was this weapon grinding? I just don't get it. Like, if I look at my skill points currently, And I'm not doing all these classes. I don't see the point of them. Even now, when I have the Sharpshooter and Panther class maxed out, I still have 9 skill points. So if I'm sticking with one of them, you do know that all these stuffs, right, for each of those things and whatever, you need the skill points for. I would need to go back to my previous videos and I would see that this number 9, I do believe it was around 27 or something. Because you don't really need that many skills. I mean, most of these are completely useless. Specifically when it comes to something you never would use. Healing pouch, probably you will need. Water filter. Rations. I've never used this. I only unlocked them because I just had too many points over left. Most of the perks you need to actually unlock and use, so everything passive is definitely worth. Everything that you need to actually actively activate and keep in is not going to work in the long term. Because, for instance, if I go for my casual perks, so to say, it's usually either the gorilla, definitely the maximum ammo, and then it's either the feel no pain and the cold-blooded. So since you can only have like I don't even remember 3 or 4 at the same time, that's all you need. If once you reach these certain whatever gameplay style you're playing, the soon you reach these points, perks, call them as you want, everything else is useless. Shoot, yes, with their broken base jump system. Of course I want some shoot so I don't kill myself. Rocket launcher, yeah, kind of makes sense. Pistolero, unless you're doing the challenge, this is absolutely useless. You will not be engaging enemies from a pistol range, but pistols are pretty far-reaching in this game. Rocket launcher, yeah, good for the drones, unless you adjust your game settings so there's less drone presence. Drone visions, yes. Drone mark area, kind of useless. You need battery more. I mean, I just don't see how all this would tie in within all these episodes. It's just it honestly does not make any sense. They've tried very hard, but please, Ubisoft, why can't you give what people want? And people literally multiple times said, we want Wildlands 2. Remaster the game, update the game with newest graphics, choose a different engine for it, and we will be happy. And the Ubisoft just doesn't listen. Like, this is the biggest thing. Like, they never listen to their main player base that they are taking their money for. I do believe it's kind of on purpose. I sometimes I just don't understand them. And I know I'm not alone in this. I know I'm not alone. When you go on Reddit, if you go for Ghost Recon's Reddit subreddits and you read what people still have, what kind of issues they have with the game, what they're trying to get in it, and you know, even the internal testers sometimes post something very nice in terms of under hush wraps and whatnot. All this is already predetermined. This is not based on community feedback. This is the roadmap they sketched up the moment Breakpoint launched. Even before it was launched, they said, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do another thing. So none of this stuff is new at any point. The most annoying part for me is that knowing all this, that, you know, we don't have a choice, they're still pushing for it. And Motherland was supposed to be something completely different, and it's still not something different. Like now, I have unlocked, or basically I have completed the whole game, which we had, and guess what? We still have enemies. Why? Why the fuck? We still have these enemies just walking around for reasons unknown. This is like a never-ending grind from Ubisoft. This is not even for someone to play with a co-op, because once you finish the main story mission, you're just gonna keep grinding away for the same regions. They are already here, as you can see. This is not even something new. I'm rambling, I know, but the reason I'm rambling is because I'm confused. Every time Ubisoft have a chance to make their own games great again, they somehow manage to screw it completely up. And I don't understand this logic of theirs, because if we would take Karen Bowman, right? If we would take the fact that Sam Fisher was with us in Deep State, if we would even tie in the Russians, how hard, hear me out, how hard it would be to say that Sam, since he's left the only field ops specialist since Big Boss from Metal Gear is gone and Sam is the only one, what if he sided with Russians? What if he wanted to overtake whatever things there is, and we would actually need to go against him, and get some story arcs, get some new characters in. Even if it's an old beloved Sam, we would still have the Nomad. What if we would actually, I don't know, take Karen Bowman, and Karen Bowman's working for the Russians, and we only find it out because she's giving us missions that we're supposed to fail, but we survive and we can see a pattern. Why cannot you make a new storyline with your existing map, exactly as people who play roleplay in Ghost Recon, both Wildlands and Breakpoint? Why can't Ubisoft just come up with some people, some dedicated people from the same YouTube channels, from the Reddit, get them in one room for 24 hours, give them pizza and Monster Energy drinks and, I don't know, maybe a Ubisoft Game Pass, whatever, right? And let them craft a story how to actually make this game good again. Instead of coming with your suits into a conference room and saying, you know what we need? We need to farm a bit more. We need to raise the level cap. We need to liberate this island again and again and again. But we're going to throw in the optical camo we introduced in Ghost Recon Future Soldier that people really liked, and that's why we gave them the optical camo in Wildlands, because it kind of reminds of the Predator. And now we're basically 2 years in content for Breakpoint. Let's throw it back in so we can upgrade that, so people will obtain it in a conquest mode, which is a separate mode, and then they will be happy to play through the main story mission again if the optical camo is gonna be good enough. So either is completely OP, that means you cannot be seen or heard, because I haven't seen anyone of the wolves throwing EMP grenades or anything like that, because obviously you would be discovered. Maybe they will do this mechanic. In terms of new enemies, that is not new enemy types. Those are the same exact enemy types we had before. But the difference is, instead of the guy with the alarm bell above his head who calls in reinforcements, we now have a different guy who calls in reinforcements. The heavy guy, which we have a rocketeer, or the actual heavy with a machine gun, now is just a heavy guy. And then we have some breachers, which we had before. They had a shotgun, and if you're playing on a hard difficulty, shotgun rain and you are dead. And special forces that can use optical camo. And where have I seen that one before? Oh wait, it's from Wildlands, from DLC Fallen Ghost, where you are fighting the whole goddamn army of these things, and it basically makes you go slower by using your thermal goggles. I don't even know what will they do in this game, but we do have thermal vision, so to be fair, I wouldn't be too surprised if that was the actual case. So it's just, this is just weird. In general, this is very weird for me, why Ubisoft is choosing to kill their own titles in a very flashy way. It literally beats me. I have no idea. But they are doing it, and they are not afraid to admit it. They're basically telling us, yeah, that might be the case, but it's all for the greater good. We've played this game for so long, it's not even funny anymore. You know where all the weapons are, you know how to deal with behemoths, you know how to deal with Goliaths, you've played the raid, you've done it all. You've now had your AI teammates that now resemble Rainbow Six operatives. What is next? Can you just please, in that case, if you don't want to follow the Wildlands, if you don't want to come up with a new story mission, how about we just replay the whole Ghost Recon Breakpoint as Ezio from Assassin's Creed? I do believe people would be very happy and very interested in playing a modern day title like this, being a Brotherhood of Assassins character with a hidden blade and a crossbow. I would. Hell yeah, I would definitely play that out. It would be much more interesting than replaying the same goddamn map again. With the same enemies, with the same skills, with the same... It just doesn't make sense. Why are they so hell-bent on doing this the hard way? If there's much better ways, much more profitable ways, mind you, to actually bring some balance to the force and make people fall in love with the same title again. But no, they are just insisting that we just cannot do that. We need to do it in a way that will piss everyone off, make them confused. On a bright side, luckily, they are not charging us for the Motherland. God, I mean, literally, this is the best thing ever. If they were charging us for Motherland, I would be pissed. Oh boy, I would be so pissed about it. Hit registration. Here we go again. Literally exactly the same stuff. Ow. Aim and shoot. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this, and if you think this is actually how the game should progress. However, I do believe, I know that there will always be a corporate simp who will say, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. This is gonna be huge. You piss me off, you know? You honestly just piss me off, because it's not gonna be better. Unless we demand some change, it's not gonna be better. It's never been actually good to begin with. Stop just accepting everything Daddy Ubisoft gives to you and start demanding things. Tell them, no, we're not gonna buy it. No, we're not gonna play it. No, you will not be able to show your investors and sponsors that, sorry, your title has failed. Honestly, some people just need to grow some balls. If you like playing Breakpoint casually, like me right now on the easiest difficulty, just running around, because I already crawled up all these bases literally on my ass on immersive mode with no HUD, extreme difficulty. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it 5 times now just because I have an optical camo. Enough is enough. We've been through this. Even just running around and gunning them down is not fun anymore. I don't know. I honestly do not know. I think this is a lost cause. Probably I will swallow my disgust in regards to Ubisoft stuff, because I do own the game. I did spend money on it, and I know, and I told it myself, the only reason people will play is because you spent money and you're trying to get your money's worth. But that also kind of gives Ubisoft a very big shoes to fill. They need to basically prove the reason why you spent money on this game. Okay? Don't just accept everything they tell you. Choose for yourself. But anyway. It doesn't really matter, does it? Never-ending bullet sponges. Never-ending supply of army, military presence on this island, and now we're just gonna go for regions doing exactly the same thing. Exactly as we did in Raid Patriot with looking for clues to unlock a lieutenant, to kill the lieutenant, and I hope that something will change. Same as we did in original story when we are hunting down Rosebud, we were hunting down Yellow Jacket. Exactly the same thing. Wake up, people. Honestly, for fuck's sake, wake up. I'm not saying this is like an actual wake-up call. It's just I'm literally impressed how little people care what happens with their favorite titles, with their favorite games, how little the community can do when the big boss, the big daddy Ubisoft, can just ignore them for years and nothing can be done to change that. Maybe I'm just reading through those titles and I can just see how bad they have it. And here you go. It's either a game stutter or a crash. Look at this dip, right there. The game is running off from NVMe drive now as well. I was just literally launching it just for fun. Look at this. It is still not fixed. And if you go on YouTube and you type in how to fix stuttering on Breakpoint, you will see probably my video, you will see someone else's video. And now they're pushing out a conquest mode. Then they're pushing out a new part, the Motherland. I don't know, Ubisoft. Get your act together. Get your goddamn act together. This is not even funny anymore. And on this sad note, I'm gonna tell you guys, see you next time on all the stuff, because I think it's just not worth it. But we'll wait and see. We'll see how it goes. So anyway, thanks for watching Rant Over. Stay strong. And I really hope, that we'll get something better than this. See you next time.